At some point, whether you're going to get this, whether you're going to get that, whether you're going to the dealer's house to do this, or wherever you're getting your stuff from.
If it's truly a legal prescription, that's what I'm getting at. I'm not trying to pick this
Come up,
or
sir.
anything. I just,
Come up.
but I want
to know why there's no other way to medicate. I'm a very self-destructive person. If he has PTSD, to deal with it, not go to a doctor at a cannabis clinic where they're going to, of course, prescribe you marijuana.
They're MDs licensed by the state of Texas. I mean, that's just.
I don't know that.
Hey, Judge, so I spoke to, what's the name of the?
Texas Compassionate
Yeah,
Use
Texas
Program.
Compassionate Use Program. I spoke to them. They're going to give me, they said confirmation within 1 to 3 business days regarding whether or not the defendant in fact does have a medical marijuana card.
I have a problem allowing someone who has a DWI because of marijuana, continuing to allow them to smoke marijuana.
Let's verify first that he does have a lawful prescription through the state of
I'm going to
Texas.
tell him no smoking for now until we're able to verify something.
Okay.
No, but he has a DWI for marijuana.
We're gonna be like you telling a diabetic they can't have their insulin. It's a
No,
just because you disagree with it doesn't
that's a
mean
light
it's not.
diabetic medication. It's a life-saving information. This is not.
I mean, marijuana is too now. We don't know. I'm not a doctor. You're not a doctor. We're not researchers. But enough has happened with the legislature has approved this, and the prescription has been. If it's truly a valid prescription for the state of Texas, I think there's a problem with this, Judge.
I'm going to tell you, even if he has a valid prescription, I have a problem allowing someone to use marijuana when they're on bond for a DWI with
I
marijuana.
get that, but that's not Judge. That's not appropriate. I mean, what you're saying is, if that is a true legal medication, you're saying that you just don't agree with that medication. If it's truly a legal prescription, that's what I'm getting at. I'm not trying to pick this
Come up,
or
sir.
anything. I just,
Come up.
but I want
to know why there's no other way to medicate.
I mean, that's for a doctor to tell us. Is I don't know, Judge. I'm not qualified for that opinion.
I'd like to talk to the doctor who prescribed it to figure out why there's no other reasonable way to medicate.
If the doctor will talk to you, I mean, we will. Let's wait to get let's get the confirmation from the state of Texas that it is a true lawful prescription. I'm not trying to pick this fight with you if it's not. That's
Understand.
stupid on my part. But
listen, I have thick skin. And I'm not going to begrudge you for zealously advocating for your client, but at the same time, also have thick skin that I have a DWI. It's a marijuana DWI. And anytime I have a DWI with whatever substance that is, I have them stop using whatever substance that contributed to the DWI, whether it's alcohol, whether it's pills, whether it's marijuana in this case, whether it's psilocybin, whether it's acid, meth.
what if it's Xanax or cyclobenzaprine or tramadol? We don't do that. You see what I'm getting at?
Xanax, yes. I mean, yes, but why not use Xanax instead of marijuana then?
Well, people rob convenience stores on Xanax.
No. Now you're getting into apples and oranges. But and I don't know. There has to be another way to make it.
Why don't we do this? And this is what I've done in Montgomery County, which they are way harder to deal with because when you practice. Why don't I do it this way? Is get a letter from the doctor that states what Montgomery County does is that based on their analysis and their treatment and whatever plan it is, that there's no other non-narcotic medication.
But I know that any doctor's going to write that. I really want to know
why.
why.
License on the line if they're lying. They're not going to make that statement, just like I would as a lawyer.
But Dustin, I would like to know why there's no other way to medicate. Why can't they take Vraylar? I'm not a medical doctor, but there's so many other antidepressants out there. There's so many other medications to use.
Let's just wait. Well, first let's wait to see the state of Texas, the actual state of Texas is authorizing that as a prescription. Let's just do that first, and then
I'm going to assume that is the case.
Okay.
Even if that is the case, we still have the same thing. I'd like to know why there are no other ways to medicate other than marijuana.
Right, but we don't stop somebody's medical treatment while we're waiting to get that result. That's all I'm asking is like, let's work. Let me work on that and get it, but please do not order him not to use a prescription medication that he has.
But I don't know if it's prescription.
But if we get that You say prescription does. So if he's lying and it's not a prescription, well, then that's a whole other issue for all of us, including his attorney.
What's up, man?
But today, the main thing I'm here today on is I need you to order him to have a portable device because he has no vehicle.
Do what?
I need to have the change to a portable device because he has no vehicle. He can't put an interlock on his car because he doesn't have one. In fact, it was a wreck, so he has no car.
So where's the car?
You told me that. I have no idea.
It is, it's actually, they just got out the lot and it's at a repair shop.
Once it
So
is
he's
repaired,
gonna
he
get a
will
car
put it
in a
on.
minute.
Right, he'll put it in as soon as it's repaired, but he doesn't have one right now.
Get the car back.
They said it could take anywhere from 5 to 6 weeks because the axle broke off the tire wheel.
An NCIC on him. I'd like to see what full kind of criminal history that he has, please.
And I can tell you, Judge, I've represented him for a long time. He's got the one part DWI here. He has a PTI program for heroin use that he completed, and he's off heroin use, and part of that was the PTSD causing him to use drugs, and that's part of this passionate use now.
Another DWI?
It's a second. That's why he has that's why you ordered an interlock, because it's a DWI second.
How long ago was the other DWI? And where was it?
He was here in Harris County, Judge.
It was about,
What
The
was
first
the,
DWI is 2018, Judge.
Yes.
And the PCS was a dismissal. I don't remember if the UCW was a dismissal or not. I don't remember. I represented him on it, but I don't recall.
when was the PCS? What's the cost number, please? Because for some reason I don't have it here.
I can give it to you, Judge. The cause number for this is 2532601. So the carrying of a handgun was in 2020 in a motor vehicle. That was in 2020. It was dismissed, Judge. The possession of a controlled
It's a
substance.
sixth case.
Well, I don't have access to this juvenile stuff, but I see four.
No, I'm not looking at
One
juvenile.
history.
I'm not
I
looking
don't
at
think you have
juvenile. He has a UCW that was dismissed.
Okay.
Unsatisfactorily terminated probation
On DWI,
from 2020. A year later picks up a gun case. A year later
which
picks
is
up
dismissed.
a year later
Dismissed.
another.
Possession was dismissed. And this is this one. But there was this one on the possession case from 2020. That was the
Okay.
conviction, 6-month state jail, deferred adjudication. And then that, and DWI from 2018 was unsatisfactory termination.
I didn't know about that. I didn't know the PCS, Judge. I'm sorry. I wasn't there.
He's never successfully completed a probation.
Completed a PTI program. Didn't he?
I just,
Am I wrong?
No, it says unsatisfactory.
No, the PCS was a PTI program, wasn't it?
no, I didn't know.
You didn't complete it? Okay.
That one was.
That's why I was sent to state
I'm
jail.
sorry. I apologize, Judge. I misspoke. So that was when he had an opiate problem.
Well, I had finished it and
There
then the
was
second I
another-
got out of one,
Okay.
yeah.
If I drug test you now, what's going to show up?
The marijuana, sir.
What else?
Well, do you have prescription? Your prescription?
I do have prescriptions. I take a Valium only when like I have a seizure because I have epilepsy, sir. But other than that, though, everything else is non-narcotic. I take a Lamictal. Oh yes, I do take Subzol. That's to help me out keep me off the pain medication and stuff
Suboxone?
like that. Suboxone.
What else?
And
Do you have a Xanax prescription or no?
no, it's Valium.
Valium, sorry. My mistake.
But it's a nasal spray though, so it's only like when it's necessary. I'm actually like in a seizure.
I'd like to send him for a drug test now. I want to know everything that's in his system.
That's all you have in your system is what? The marijuana
The marijuana, the Subzol, and
and Suboxone?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know, Dustin. I don't know. I don't know if we're just contributing to the behavior. You know, I mean, I don't understand. What I don't understand are why there's no other ways we can medicate.
Judge,
To
my concern at this point is that I don't know what the test says of what he was or was not on at the scene, because my understanding is the DWI took place, what, on the 8th or something? When was
It was a week ago. We were here in court on Friday. so-
Right, so it takes about 30 days to figure out what's actually in his system or not in his system. So I'm struggling with that.
is there a breath test? Is there a blood test? What is it?
It's a voluntary blood, Judge.
And we don't have the labs back, Judge.
It's a 4 or 6 HGN, 0 walk and 0 1 leg stand, 4 walk and turn. He had medical marijuana on him, like the prescription.
Living.
I'm sorry.
What do you do for a living?
Right now, I'm waiting on disability, but I do like entrepreneur work where I like stock invest and stuff like that, just to make some pocket change. I'm sorry.
How do you get money?
Right now, I'm in between jobs, sir.
His parents hired me, Judge.
Dustin's not cheap.
Oh, no, my parents helped me with that, sir. On a payment plan. It's very hard to find work when you're have lupus and epilepsy and stuff like that.
Baloney. It's hard to find work when you get felony convictions. And what you do in the last 5 years, you picked up one case every single year. And you want me to continue to allow you to smoke weed. I have a problem with that. And I really do, Mr. Jones, because historically speaking, since 2020, since 2018, you are now on your 6th case. And I get it that some have been dismissed, but nevertheless, it's 6 cases. And all of them have to do with either drugs or alcohol. So for me to allow you to continue to use, it would be enabling you, telling you that it's okay when it's not. In life, this is addiction is a lifelong problem that you're going to be dealing with. And at some point, you're going to have to get off of everything. You can't continue this forever, because the problem is that at some point, whether you're going to get this, whether you're going to get that, whether you're going to the dealer's house to do this, or wherever you're getting your stuff from, peer pressure's bitch. And it scares me to think when you're at a really vulnerable moment in your life, when you run into the wrong person, you may end up spiraling out of control, where once you are able to deal with this, because it's mind over matter. Mind over matter. When you have a strong mind and when you have a strong heart, you can do anything in life. And if anybody tells you otherwise, it's baloney. Because with a strong mind and a strong heart, you can achieve anything in life. And what I don't understand is how you cannot find another way to self-medicate. That's what I don't understand. And that's why I would like to talk to the doctor who's prescribing this to see why is there no alternate way to medicate. I mean, he's already on Valium. Did you say he's on Xanax as well?
I used to when he has a seizure, Judge.
Your spirit animal might be the key to understanding why certain things happen in your life. Did you know that?
I was wrong on the Xanax. It's Valium, not Xanax. I was when he has a seizure. But he's on
one hand, it's
He used to be,
6 and doesn't, 1/2 in the other.
Judge, all I know is a doctor's prescribing it. He doesn't get it from the dealer. He gets it to the state of Texas through their pharmacy. So I don't know what else to present to you. That's all I can present to you. Yeah. I guess let's try to do a rush on the blood and do a quick trial setting. And get that
The other thing I'm going to do, Dustin, is this: is that if it's an absolute must, I don't want him out in the middle of the night. I'm giving him a curfew because I don't trust him and I don't want him out in the middle of the night. Nothing good happens at 1 or 2 in the morning, and I don't want you out in the middle of the night. And I'm going to give you a curfew, because if you're going to continue to smoke, the last thing I want is you out in the middle of the night being up to no good.
And I think you'd rather do that, Judge.
I honestly have no issue with that at all.
And I'm going to put a monitor on you so I know where you are, and I don't want you out. I'm going to give you a curfew, 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. But you're not out in the middle of the night, and then I want you back here in 3 days and bring me what you got. I'm telling you that I'm hard pressed, and I want to know why there's no other alternate method of treatment, that it has to be marijuana.
So you're not allowed to use the marijuana yet. So let's not put him on a curfew yet.
No, I'm not gonna, if I'm gonna give him a curfew, I'm gonna,
Okay, that's fine.
but I'm back here in 3 days and I want to know why. And I want to know why there's no other reasonable way to medicate, and it has to be marijuana. And the only reason is because this is a DWI with marijuana.
When are you seeing your doctor again?
I'm actually supposed to speak to the cannabis clinic tomorrow.
No, I don't care about the cannabis clinic.
That's the doctor.
That's the doctor.
That's the doctor that prescribes the judge.
I see. So it's the fox guarding the hen house.
I have no idea. I mean, that's a little bit, well, no, only those doctors who are licensed by Texas can prescribe it. So yes, it is the cannabis clinic because that is the only doctor who can prescribe it. They have to register with Texas.
Going to the cannabis clinic. Where is it?
You have to get it, well, that's,
Austin, actually.
they're in Austin?
Yeah.
Should have it, their response by Tuesday, so let's say the Wednesday, if you want to come back in at that point.
Can we come in on Wednesday, Judge? That's when she'll have to
Sure.
look back to the doctor.
Sure, but
I'm sorry, from the
Um,
state of Texas.
According to-
so he gets the monitor. I'd like to send him for a drug test now. I want to know what everything is in the system. If there's something more than just value, I'm going to have a real big problem with it. Dustin, if I see that there's opiates in there or something else that's not supposed to be in there, I'm telling you now, I'm going to have a real
Suboxone,
problem.
whatever that shows as. I don't know what Suboxone shows as. But that will be in there.
It shows up as buprenorphine.
Okay, then yes, that
So
will be.
if it's Suboxone, it'll show up as buprenorphine. But if it shows up as benzodiazepine,
And you haven't used any opiate, you haven't used any Valium or anything recently?
I went to the ER and they gave me some medication.
What day?
I don't have the paperwork. It was,
Last week, 3 weeks ago?
yeah. It was about like a week and a half ago,
That's,
something like that.
that'll be,
Oh, but that's it though. That's it.
okay, but we need to know what that is.
Yeah, but
we'll see. I'm sending him for a test now, but I'm gonna tell you now. No dope while you're on bond in this court,
sir.
unless otherwise given. If I find that you're using any kind of opiates whatsoever, I'm going to keep you. And I don't care if they're hooting, hollering, crying, no opiates, no alcohol. Do you understand? You get a monitor for both today.
Sir.
So I'm gonna put a scram on one, a thing, and I'll pay for everything.
Just he has no alcohol issues. I mean, he hasn't used alcohol in years. No, I mean, it's not even alcohol DWI. There's zero alcohol at all on this DWI. That's, I know you're saying, I'm arguing for you because I think having the scram and I think the scram is a little excessive, Judge. It truly is.
See, one in lieu of the other I was gonna do. I'm not gonna do both. That's silly. Of course not. I'm not gonna do both.
Okay, so just so you have two ankle monitors on one scram and one GPS, then he doesn't have to worry about the blower, the portable.
You want the blow?
Well, I'd rather have a portable than it's just that's a lot to be wearing and stuff. I mean, I don't know. Do you okay with
So,
doing every 8 hours?
I'm
GPS with a curfew, and then he gets a portable today, please.
Yes.
And then the curfew, and then we send it for the test now, and then we'll see him on Wednesday.
We have the curfew of 10 p.m. to 6 a.m.
And then waive all the fees.
Thank you, Judge. And do they have portables through the, I know I'm arguing for that. Do they do portables through probation? Is he able to get a device that probation pays for it or raises it?
I have no idea about the position.
Okay, I'm sorry, or through pretrial, whoever.
Is he able to get a curfew through?
That's what I'm asking.
Pretrial?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. That's.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you now, though, if he's using opiates, and I'm gonna tell you now, if I find that you're using opiates, you and I, our life together here is going to be very, very difficult. It stops now. Do you understand?
Sure.
You need to do whatever you can to stop using, because if you don't, I am now affording you the opportunity to stop using everything now. If you don't, we're going to do it my way, and I promise you, you're
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that last part.
He didn't hear your last part, Judge. I apologize.
I'm giving you the opportunity to stop using dope now. If you are unable to, then we're going to do it my way. And I promise you, you're not going to like the way that I do it. It's going to happen. It's not if, it is when, and it's now. Do you understand?
Absolutely.
Because I'm done playing. And the last thing I want, believe it or not, Mr. Jones, I want what's best for you, okay? And sometimes we have to save people from themselves. But so far, whatever you've been doing, it's not working because in the last 6 years, you've got 6 cases. So whatever you're doing, it's not working. And you need to do something to change your life, because I'm telling you, it's going to be a lifelong battle with you. And you have to come to terms with it, that this is mind over matter. You need to find something to do. You need to find something to occupy your time, because when you have too much time, you become self-destructive, because that's the type of personality you have. And I'm telling you, because I have the same personality as well. I'm a very self-destructive person, but I'm always occupying my time, whether it's playing Fortnite with my son, whether it's running in the day, whether it's, shaving my dog's pup gut, whatever it is. I'm always finding time to occupy myself, and that's what you need to do to get over this lifelong battle, because if not, it's going to take you by the boo-boo, and it's not going to end up well, like it has been so far. All right, see you soon.
Judge, so just to confirm, we're removing the condition to get the IID. Jones, right this way.
To do the what?
The ignition interlock.
No, the ignition interlock stays, because that way DPS needs to know.
All the previous conditions, just adding
Correct.
testing today and getting those devices.
I'm on, Kaylee Jones, sorry, I like there. So they contacted the compassionate use program last week. They told her 2 to 3 business days, and they sent her an email saying that they wouldn't give her the information without my client sending a request authorization form. So she just told me that, she forwarded it to me. I'm gonna do that today and get that handled. And I don't know how.
Friday afternoon, Judge, from them. So after.
But I'm telling you now, I'm gonna have a problem with it. I don't think that's the right thing to do. Not when you're on, there has to be other ways to medicate other than with marijuana.
I honestly can't tell you that. I honestly don't.
Well, then I want him to see a legitimate, psychiatrist, doctor, if he has PTSD, to deal with it, not go to a doctor at a cannabis clinic where they're going to, of course, prescribe you marijuana.
They're MDs licensed by the state of Texas. That's just like.
I don't know that. And then, I got to imagine that if he goes to a regular psychiatrist, just a regular psychiatrist off the street, are they going to prescribe marijuana, or are they going to prescribe something else?
They really can't. They have to be licensed with the compassionate use program through Texas. So no, you're right. Your therapist cannot prescribe it because they're not licensed to do it.
Right. I
This
don't.
cannabis doctor is licensed to do it.
I don't feel that it's right when someone has a DWI with marijuana to let them continue to smoke
I
marijuana.
understand.
So
I understand your position, Judge. And what do you want me to do at this point? Like right now, what is your wish?
if he truly has PTSD,
Yes.
then I think that he really needs to see a doctor, a licensed psychiatrist, not just the people at the cannabis clinics.
Okay, so you want to have another doctor that he's treating?
Well, no, I don't, I just, there has to be another way to.
Position that's gonna put me in a bind for telling somebody they can't go to their doctor, like.
No, and look,
I'm not trying
you
to-
guys do, you guys need to do whatever you're gonna do, right? But
None of us want to deal with. I don't want to deal with it.
And I'm gonna tell you, it's a new thing for all the judges here now, with all the marijuana cards now, trying to deal with how someone medicates, especially when someone has an opiate problem and they're continuing to use, and they want me to to continue to smoke marijuana.
I will say,
I don't.
Judge Guinea has approved it for a client of mine, and Judge Ward.
I don't care about other judges. I don't care.
But what's going to happen is if you just use the medicine that they're prescribed by their doctor, it's going to be a huge blow up that none of us want to deal with. Like, I don't want this on the news. I don't want to be a lawyer standing from the camera.
I don't care.
Nobody wants to. This is medical. This is not legal. It's not a legal issue. It's a medical issue. But when you make it a legal issue, then that's where it gets to be a little sticky between this, because if the state of Texas says it's okay, I don't see where don't take this the wrong way. I don't see if you have the legal authority to tell Texas they can't do that. And that's what we're getting into, because you're saying that doctor.
If someone has a DWI, a marijuana DWI, right? And they want to continue to smoke marijuana, I have a problem with that.
What if they have a Xanax DWI and they want to continue using their Xanax that their psychiatrist prescribed? What's the difference?
And I don't know, I have not come across that issue, so I don't know what I'm gonna do. But
Medication.
I have a problem with it, Dustin.
That's not.
So
Have a problem with it. You're just telling somebody, a licensed physician prescribing something, they can't use it because you have a problem with it. That's the issue that we're seeing. So, I mean, I respect the court's, whatever the court, orders, we'll respect that, but I just need to know what steps you want me to take. Like,
I don't know, let me think about it, because I'm gonna talk with the other judges as well to see what, Because I'd like to get a second opinion as to what other judges think about it as well.
Probably, okay, I
You
don't
know?
fights, you know that. Like,
Um,
I was always the advocate, but I'm not trying to start something that doesn't need to be started.
But Dustin, I'm never going to begrudge a lawyer for zealously advocating, and I respect you for doing it. Really, I'm never going to fault you. But I really have a problem with someone who has a DWI and they're continuing to use the same substance that they got the DWI with. In every respect, when I see that come here, I try to get them to stop taking whatever they're taking.
Yeah. And I would advise him he should try to take those steps. I mean, I got a problem with
I
that.
have to imagine, had he gone to a normal, any other psychiatrist other than one at the Cannabis Cup, they 9 times out of 10 would have prescribed alprazolam, something else to deal with the PTSD. And I mean, what is it here? He shoots himself in the finger. Isn't that the PTSD?
Yeah. I mean, everybody's made different.
I get it. But regardless, I think that, have you seen anyone else?
So I guess can we reset for a week? That way I'll get the documentation, I'll
How
get you
long
some
is it gonna-
information.
Judge, I'm not sure. They emailed me
I
on
don't want
Friday.
that long, Dustin, because I don't want him to continue to smoke weed for
Well,
that.
he is on your curfew and he's on the monitor, so I mean, we're at least keeping him from being outside during the hours that you're concerned about.
How long do you think?
Judge, I really don't know how long it would take them to process it. Say hypothetically, if they told me 2 to 3 business days and then we send it to request today, I don't imagine that they would take longer than 2 to 3 business days, but he's going through it with a HIPAA. So
They're gonna have to, what this is saying is he has to email them with his information, then they're gonna send him a form that he's gotta fill out allowing that information to be given. So
say it
as soon as they,
2 to 3 business days for them to respond to him and then with the
Okay, so
form.
let's do this. I'll set it off for a week.
Yeah.
I'm sending him for a drug test now. Come up, Mr. Jones.
I think that's great, Judge.
I mean, he has no problem doing his weekly testing.
Dustin, if he's using any kind of opiates, I'm gonna, if you're using any opiates, anything that you're not supposed to, it's not going to go well between us. Do you understand?
Absolutely, yes, sir.
How come you have not seen any other licensed psychiatrist other than the cannabis people?
I actually have. I was prescribed the alprazolam for 6 years, but it actually caused me to have like seizures if I like missed it like a couple hours late and stuff like
You're
that.
not supposed to stop taking it.
I'm not saying like not I'm saying like if I slept in, like I could actually wake up at like 8 o'clock in the morning and have seizures because it's
Yes.
delirium tremors is what they call it.
Side effects of when you take hardcore, powerful narcotics like these, you can't just stop taking it. You can't just, when you stop, they wean you off. And when you don't take it as regularly prescribed, there are serious side effects. One of those being, convulsions, all types of side effects, including seizing, right? So it's not because you're taking the Xanax, it's because you didn't take it when you're supposed to. So don't blame the Xanax for causing you to seize. It's the fact that you didn't take it that caused you to seize. Why not? Why stop? So you're not taking the alprazolam anymore?
No, I still take the Valium, but only for emergencies for seizures. It's not even for the PTSD anymore because I didn't-
Emergency seizures?
No, emergency seizures.
He has epilepsy, Judge.
Yeah, I have epilepsy, sir. That's another reason why they were giving me the Xanax too. But like, but they were saying that it was actually making it worse. They called them delirium tremors, similar to like withdrawal from alcohol. The benzos do the same.
Intramensis?
Yes, sir.
Sure,
So
but
that yes, sir. They're saying that it was helping, but if I
the other thing is, I can't imagine that if you have one doctor prescribing all this other stuff, that doctor is going to continue to let you take all this, knowing full well that you're also using marijuana from another doctor, because they're contradictory and you can't do that.
So I wasn't taking them at the same time.
Okay.
Yes, sir. I had stopped the Xanax actually when I was when I went to jail for that state jail time, and whenever I got out, I was on like different medications in here and stuff like that. I just didn't want to go back on the same narcotic while I'm trying to stay sober, sir. So, I mean, I know marijuana is not much better, but I just felt like, it was better off taking something that wasn't physically addicting versus, with the doctor's
It can be
opinions and
as well,
stuff.
though. It can be as well. I mean, look, I'm sending you for a drug test now.
Yes, sir.
We need a complete list of everything that you're legally prescribed to take, because I want to know what you're allowed to take, and that's it.
Yes, sir.
Because I also need to know what's going to show up in the blood test and what's not supposed to show up in there.
Yes, sir.
But don't use anything that you're not prescribed to take.
Yes, sir.
And for sure, you best not get into a car.
Yes, sir.
I will absolutely lose it if you get into a car. Do you understand, Mr. Jones?
Absolutely.
I
Yes,
don't
sir.
know how much more plain and clear that I can make this to you. Don't get into a car.
Thank you, Judge.
Hold on. I need to make sure that if he signed an affidavit that he's not going to drive. He does.
You
Okay.
understand that?
I believe so.
We'll set you off for a week, and then before he leaves today, I'd like a complete list of what he's got prescriptions for to take as far as any kind of narcotics, and
Yes,
so we can see it. All right.
Could you provide that?
I want to know.
If not, you do that too.
No,
Give it
I'm
to
sending
me.
you for a drug test now.
Yes, sir.
Depending on what that shows, I want to look. Okay. All right.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay, guys.
Right this way.
Herman.